What is up, everyone? I'm Kim. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Today I've got an Aprés haul for you guys. I have so many new products to show you. Everything you see me unbox today I paid full price for. This was purchased right before their sale, and at the end of this video you're also going to see me do their 4-step dupe method. So if it's something you're interested in, definitely keep on watching. The first product I want to show you guys is this Ryo Kitamura Aer Gel Color Set. I hope I didn't completely butcher his name, but I got this set for my new airbrush, which you guys are going to see in a few minutes. I thought that this was a good place to start as far as airbrush paints, just because these are pretty much all neutrals. And I'm not really going to go too much in depth on the airbrush unboxing in this video, just because I do have another airbrush. It was like a really cheap one that I had gotten from Amazon. So I've been thinking about doing a video where I do like cheap airbrush versus this Aprés one, because this one, you know, it was pretty pricey, just so that we could see the differences. It's gonna be my first time using both of them, so I just thought it would be a good idea for a video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But yeah, for now, let's get into these paints. So this first one here is called Rosy Beige. This one is called Porcelain Beige. This one is Ochre Beige. Dusk Beige. Vellum Beige. And then you've got your Illuminate White. I don't know why, I feel like a good black would have been perfect in this set. Next thing I want to show you guys is this 30 milliliter bottle of Extend Gel. Isn't it crazy, guys? The last time I bought Extend Gel was when I got the Chaun Legend kit, and that was literally 7 months ago, and that was also the 15 milliliter size. So that just goes to show you how much one of these really lasts you, because I do GelX all the time. Next, I want to show you guys the Aer Gel Machine. So I did have to get these in 2 separate parts. I know usually they have sometimes like sets where it comes together, but for some reason those were sold out, but then they had the 2 parts that you could buy. So here we have the Aer Gel Head. It comes in this kind of like plastic carrying case. I feel like they could have given you like a more heavy duty case just because of the price of everything, but that's no big deal. That's just like my opinion. And then we have the bottom part. This is the actual machine part of it, and of course you guys know I had to get the pink color. So like I said before, I'm not going to go too in depth on this airbrush machine. I just wanted to show you guys real quick since it did come with the package. But definitely keep an eye out for that airbrush video coming soon. And with the head, of course, you also get the charger. You also get these instructions. It tells you how to use the machine, how to clean it, any problems you might have. So that's useful, of course. Moving on now to the next package, and actually I ordered this one 3 days after the last one. It's funny, this stuff wasn't in stock when I made the first order, and then magically it was. I don't know, but thankfully it was, I want to say, because once this was like 1 week before their sale, and once that rolled around, it was like everything was gone. So the first product I want to show you guys is this GelX Prep. I have actually been dying to get my hands on this. What this product does is basically allow you to chemically etch the inside of your tips versus the way that we do it now, which is to go in with our e-file and basically making your life way easier than it already is with these GelX tips. So you guys are going to see me use that in a few. I am so excited about that. Now this next purchase, I kind of feel like I finessed the system a little bit because it was quote unquote sold out. But these are the new Chaun Legend Sculpted Square XXL tips. These are the new ones from Chaun Legend, and I had been dying to get my hands on them, but they had been sold out for a while. And one of my nail tech friends was like, hey, if you buy the refill bags, it's pretty much the same exact thing. They're all in stock. The only thing is that you don't get a box, but it's so easy to get a box. And I was like, yes, I love this idea. And it worked because here they are. So there, that tip goes right in the middle. I've got to say, I absolutely love that square shape. I wanted to show you guys the previous Chaun Legend collab that he did with Aprés. That is the one on the left, and that is the Sculpted Tapered Coffin XL. Obviously, much more pinched than his current collab. And then on the right, I have the Eno Couture XL Square, which they favor each other very much, but obviously the C curve is much deeper in the Chaun Legend, and also it's a little bit longer. Next thing we're going to get into is this set of color extend gels. So this is basically like what I had unboxed earlier, but these are actual colors. I thought this would be really necessary and cool to have in case I wanted to do kind of like a French using the Aprés dupe method, or kind of like an ombre. And I really like these colors. These are some really good nudes. All of these colors I believe are named after women who have something to do with the Aprés brand. I know two of them are definitely master educators, but let me show you guys what these look like. These are so beautiful, and the consistency, ugh. So this first color here is Sasha. This one is Jessica. Insatiable. Roxy. Ariel. And Carla. And here they are all together. Again, I think these colors are really flattering, really beautiful, and I love the fact that you can use them as a soft gel overlay as well. Very useful. So now that the unboxing is done, we are going to get into this 4-step dupe method. Today I'm only going to be doing my left hand. Keep in mind that the sizes on one hand are not necessarily the same on the other. Just a small tip, because I know a lot of people think it might be the same. So as far as sizing, there's not much to it, but I'm going to walk you guys through how I do it. So first I pulled out that size 1, I kind of turn it side to side and see how it fits sidewall to sidewall. It fits good, but it is a tiny bit big, so I'm going to pull out the number 2. So here's that number 2. It fits pretty much perfectly. I'm not forcing it down or anything. It's sidewall to sidewall, and there's not really, any extra space. So I'm feeling like that one is the one. I still go back and forth between the 1 and the 2 just to make sure, and it seems to be that the 2 is the way to go. So I stick with that. And I pretty much just do the same thing for all my fingers. You want to make sure that that tip is fitting sidewall to sidewall without you having to force it down. Do keep in mind that every fingernail is shaped differently, like every person's fingernail. So you might have one where you do kind of have to push it down if the tip is pinched and you have like a rather wide or flat nail bed, but that's different than what I'm saying. You still want to make sure that the tip is fitting sidewall to sidewall and comfortably. Once you've got yourself sized up, you want to go in and rough up your natural nails. You're not going hard or, damaging your natural nail or anything. You're just getting rid of the shine, getting rid of the natural oils, just to help with adhesion. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go in with some alcohol on a lint-free wipe just to get rid of any dust, and then we can start prepping our tips. So this product again is called GelX Prep, and this has made it so much easier to prep our tips for adhesion. So previously what was done, and what I did in a previous tutorial that I had put out, which I will link in the cards by the way, is to go in with a thin bit and rough up the inside of the tip. But this way makes it so much easier. It basically does that same exact thing, but it does it chemically, and it makes it so that you don't have to deal with the dust, you don't have to take that extra time, and all I'm doing is exactly what you guys see here. The applicator on this is really rough. It probably just looks like a regular brush to you guys, but it's made to kind of like scratch at the inside of the nail. So I'm taking that acid-free primer and just really pushing it into the tip. So as you're doing this, you start to see the tip change. And by the way, I'm just doing this in the area that would actually get the extend gel, the area that's going to go over my natural nail. But as you do this, you start to see the tip kind of look like it's buffed, because that is exactly what it's doing. It's buffing that tip from the inside. I hope I did a good job at explaining to you guys what the product does and how to use it. This is my first time using the product, but it's really simple, and I'm pretty much doing exactly what I saw Aprés do on their Instagram tutorials. So yeah. And I will definitely let you guys know if I notice any difference between doing it this way or actually going in with that bit. Now that my tips are prepped and ready, we can actually start with the 4 steps. So step 1 is going to be to go in with some dehydrator. This is the one that came with the Aprés system, but if you don't have, you can always use alcohol, of course. Step 2 is going to be to go in with some primer. You're going to put this on and just let it dry. It will still look a little bit wet once it's dry because it's going to be a little tacky, but just give it at least like 5 minutes. Now for step 3, and actually Aprés step 3 is to prep the tip, which was always weird to me because so much dust would get everywhere, so I always felt like the order was wrong. And now with the GelX Prep, it's like that's not even part of the steps. It's kind of like a prequel to the steps. So my step 3 is to go in with some of this extend gel and just cover your natural nail with it. So this is going to be a very thin layer of this. I actually took way too much, so I spent the whole time like taking it from the previous nail. But again, you're just going to go in with a very thin layer on your natural nail, and you're going to cure that for 30 seconds. I actually totally forgot that I'm not supposed to go into that light without using my new fingerless gloves. These are actually fingerless arthritis gloves that I found on Amazon. Like I had said in a previous video, I've been a little bit concerned about how dark my hands are getting. It's not easy to see on camera right now, but over time, especially after the 14 days of love, I noticed that my hands were getting significantly darker, so that concerned me a little bit. And then also just all the UV lights that I was getting. I didn't want to harm myself. I don't want to, mess around with my skin. So I thought that this was a really good solution for that. And I think they're so cute. Of course, I had to get pink. So what I did was, after I cured my nails for 30 seconds, I put the glove on and then I just wiped my nails down with some alcohol just to get rid of any lint. Of course, if you had a client, you wouldn't do anything like this. You wouldn't let anything touch those nails. Now we can move on to step 4, which is actually putting the tips on. So I want to take a second really quick and talk about this Chiara Skylight. I feel like this light is the perfect light for self-application. It allows you to come into the light the way I'm demoing for you right here, which is holding on to the tip and comfortably being able to, move into the light. The curing light that comes with the Aprés system is shaped like this, kind of like a C laying down, how I'm showing you here. And it has like sidewalls, which make it hard to come into the light. I actually should have showed you guys. I don't know if I'm explaining it too well. But I wish that Aprés had a light like this. I don't know if it's like a patent situation. But if you're somebody who really likes, you know, who does a lot of self application with GelX, I feel like getting this light will make a world of difference. But moving on to the actual application, I'm going to show you guys this one in real time. So all I'm doing is taking that Extend Gel and painting the inside, kind of painting. You could also do what I'm doing here, which is like globbing it in there and pushing it in. But basically, however you do it, you're going to be covering the area where your natural nail is going to go. That's pretty much the same area that you had previously prepped. And once you've got that all full of gel, you're going to approach your natural nail. You're going to put it up to the base of your cuticle, make sure it's straight, and you're going to slowly go down, watching that Extend Gel reach the end of your natural nail. Make sure there's no bubbles, make sure it's not seeping under your nail, and once that looks perfect, you're going to step into the light. Now first, I'm only going in for about 5 to 10 seconds just to make sure it's straight. If I have to pull it off, this would be the time to do so because it's really not fully on. But once it looks good, you know, this one looked amazing. I'm going to go in for the rest of the time, which is like in total 30 seconds, I believe this light gives you once you press the button. And this is all again in real time. So after about 15-20 seconds, my tip is pretty much on. It's not going anywhere. I can keep on. Obviously I have to do a full cure at the end, my full 60-second cure, but for now I can keep working and I don't have to worry about it. This next nail again is in real time, and I want you guys to pay attention. I put a little bit more Extend Gel in this one than the rest of them. That is because my index finger is actually flatter. The nail bed is flatter than the rest of my fingers. So I want to kind of fill the area, fill the space between my natural nail and the apex of this tip. I want to say GelX is something that definitely comes with experience. There's things that you are not going to know at all when you first start doing it. It's been about 7-8 months of me doing this, and every time I do it, I learn something new. I learn a new method. And that is especially because I'm self-taught. I'm not taking anybody's class. I have looked into it, but I've always felt like for the prices that these women are charging for this, and again, I don't want to knock anybody's hustle, but I feel like they're also self-taught, so why couldn't I do that for myself? I know a few of them are taught by the company directly and then they teach other people, but for the most part, people are self-taught. So I do believe that I can do it, and I also believe that you can do it. So definitely don't get discouraged. And also, what I'm saying is you can be certified, I believe, in GelX, but you can't be licensed. So I can talk forever about the differences between being certified in something and being licensed in it, but that's just, you know, that's food for thought as well. That's another reason why I feel like, you know, self-teaching, I can do it and it would work for me. I'm learning new things every single day. You guys are actually going to get a perfect example of this at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's not very hard. You guys could definitely do this. And I would say definitely learn as much, practice as much as you can before you start doing it for clients. So once all the tips are flash cured on, I'm going to go in, like I said before, and cure for 60 seconds. That is to give it a full cure. Now the nails are not going anywhere, and now we are ready to file and buff. So the best part about this method, the part that everybody loves, I'm sure, is that you really don't have to do much filing at all. The tips are already in shape. All you're really going to see me do is just file at the free edge here. Usually the tips have a tiny little piece of plastic there, so I just get rid of that. And then I kind of file around the cuticle area just to make it as flush and as natural looking as possible. But even this, it's like minimal. not much filing to do. Also, this is the perfect way to get rid of any seepage that you might have had. Ideally, you shouldn't have much, so it should just kind of like flake off at this point. Once we're done with that, we're going to go in and buff. We're going to make sure our nails are free of scratches from the filing we just did. And this is going to help us with maximum hold on our polish. Now we are pretty much done, but I want to touch on one last thing before I end this video. So I've been doing GelX for about 7 to 8 months now, and every single time I wipe my nails down, I would use alcohol on a lint-free wipe. Now I would notice that every time I did this, my nails would end up getting really patchy and like really cloudy, but I think I never really looked too much. I always would wonder why, but I would dismiss it because I would always go in with a solid color, paint job after, so it wasn't so necessary for me to have that clarity. I think I would, wonder why, but then it would like leave my brain. And also I would really do a lot of Aprés dupe method with e-nail, and I'm not entirely sure if e-nail is made out of gel. I have to look into that. But I think I always told myself like, oh, maybe this is not gel and this is why it's getting patchy. But when I did this set, and obviously this is Aprés tip, this is an Aprés tip, and I saw that cloudiness, it really made me wonder why it was happening. So I had reached out to a fellow nail tech, and she told me that when you wipe these tips down, you have to use acetone or like young nail swipe. That is something that she learned by taking a master class, and that brings me back to my previous point that if you're self-taught, every day is gonna be like, you're gonna learn something new. Every set, every day, you're gonna be learning, and that's kind of something that you have to accept if you're gonna be self-taught. But long story short, that is the reason why these tips look like this. They are super cloudy and patchy, and hey, now I know better, so now I will do better. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I have an amazing design planned for these nails, and that video will be coming out tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for watching this one. I appreciate and love you, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!